Have you ever noticed something strange about modern life? People are earning more than previous generations in many parts of the United States and Europe, yet a surprising number of them still feel financially stuck. Not poor, but not free either. They work hard, earn decent salaries, and follow what society tells them is the normal path, and still the money never seems to stay. So the real question isn't just how to make money. The more interesting question is this: why does money disappear so easily even when you're doing everything right? Today, we're going to compress something that usually takes 4 years of economics classes into a much simpler lens. Not theories or charts, just everyday life. Imagine a fairly typical situation. A 27-year-old graduate living in the United States or Western Europe. They've just landed a solid job. Nothing extraordinary, but respectable. Let's say the salary is $65,000 a year. Sounds good on paper. But after income tax, Social Security contributions, health insurance, and other deductions, the take-home pay might land somewhere around $3,800 per month. Now the real world begins. Rent for a modest apartment, $1,400. Car payment and insurance, $550. Student loan repayment, $350. Groceries, utilities, phone, and internet, about $500. Subscriptions, small lifestyle costs, occasional dining out, another $300. Suddenly, the monthly spending is already around $3,100, which leaves roughly $700. Not terrible, but also not exactly financial freedom. And this is where something subtle begins to happen, because that $700 rarely stays untouched. A weekend trip, a new phone, a slightly nicer apartment next year, maybe a better car after the next promotion. Gradually, the lifestyle expands. Not dramatically, just slowly enough that it feels reasonable. Economists call this lifestyle inflation. But the deeper issue is psychological. Humans naturally compare themselves to the people around them. If colleagues drive newer cars, nicer clothes, or live in better neighborhoods, it quietly resets our internal definition of normal. And once something feels normal, it no longer feels like spending. It feels like maintenance. But economics has a way of revealing uncomfortable math. Let's take that $550 monthly car payment. On its own, it doesn't sound catastrophic. But stretch that across 6 years, which is now common for car loans. $550 multiplied by 72 months. That's $39,600, nearly $40,000. And remember, that number exists after tax, which means the person probably needed to earn closer to $55,000 pre-tax just to fund that one decision. Now imagine 2 different people. One chooses the financed car. The other buys a reliable used car for $12,000 and drives it for 8 years. The difference between those 2 choices might quietly approach $30,000 or more. And if that difference were invested in a simple index fund, earning a modest 7% annual return, after 25 years it could grow to over $160,000 from one decision. Not because the investment was brilliant, but because time multiplied the difference. This is one of the quiet lessons economics tries to teach. Small financial behaviors compound, but lifestyle expectations compound too, and the second one often grows faster, because the modern economy is designed around consumption pressure. Every advertisement suggests you deserve something slightly better, a slightly bigger apartment, a slightly newer car, a slightly upgraded lifestyle. Not because it improves your life dramatically, but because millions of small upgrades collectively fuel economic growth. From the system's perspective, this is normal. Consumption drives GDP. But from the individual perspective, it can quietly delay wealth for decades. Now here's where the psychology becomes interesting.
Most people do not overspend because they are irresponsible. They overspend because their mental model of money is short-term. Monthly payments feel manageable. The brain focuses on the present cost. $550 per month sounds smaller than $40,000. $15 per streaming service sounds smaller than $180 per year. Monthly framing makes decisions feel lighter. But wealth works in the opposite direction. Wealth grows when you think in decades instead of months.
Financially thoughtful people don't necessarily earn dramatically more. They simply evaluate purchases through a different lens. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this monthly payment?" they quietly ask a different question. What is the long-term opportunity cost of this decision? And that question changes everything. Because once you start thinking this way, many normal purchases suddenly look expensive. Not morally wrong, just expensive in terms of future freedom. None of this means life should become extremely restrictive. Economics is not about removing joy from spending. It's about understanding trade-offs clearly. A person who intentionally spends on travel or experiences may still build wealth. Because the key difference is awareness. They know what they're trading. Where people get stuck is when spending becomes automatic, when upgrades happen simply because everyone else is doing them. Because over 20 or 30 years, automatic lifestyle growth can quietly absorb hundreds of thousands of dollars, not through one dramatic mistake, but through hundreds of small, socially normal decisions. So, when economists study personal finance behavior, they often discover something surprising. Income alone does not determine financial outcomes. Two people earning the same salary can end up with dramatically different levels of wealth. One simply allowed lifestyle to expand with every raise. The other kept expenses relatively stable and invested the difference. Same income, completely different trajectory. In a way, that's the quiet truth behind personal economics. The system around you encourages spending, but the mathematics of wealth reward patience. And once you see that tension clearly, you begin to move through financial decisions a little more calmly. Not fearful, just more deliberate. If you found this perspective helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. Not for shortcuts or hype, just for clearer ways to think about money in a complicated world.